Hey guys, this is Max from The Authentic Techie. Today we're talking about software development and AI, and is there a future in it or are we all doomed? I've been coding and developing software for now 15 plus years, and I've seen a lot, led a lot of teams, created wonderful software. So I'm gonna give you my insight as to what I think is happening. I was on the AI bandwagon the minute I saw ChatGPT against everybody, because everyone's like, oh, it hallucinates, no company would ever do this. Even my company that I was working for at the time was very anti-AI. So I know the instinctual nervous system reaction to this kind of technology. It's new, it's scary, and it has tremendous potential. And there's some dark sides to it, right? It hallucinates, does a lot of things. But if you focus on the dark side, you don't realize that it's gonna be a fundamental shift in technology, unlike anything we've ever seen. And I was saying that a month after I saw ChatGPT, trying to corral people to get on and start developing with it, because I saw the potential. I knew it was game over for humanity the minute I saw it, because I've never seen anything like that. And I'm old enough to have seen trends come and go. And you can tell a lot about a trend is just how much value, business value it brings. And initially, it's gonna be clunky because it's a new paradigm. Like the iPhone sucked at the beginning, there was no apps. It was just slow, not good, right? But the potential was there. You saw how the value was inherent in the device. It just needed to go through a couple of iterations to work out the kinks. Well, same with AI. It just needs to go through a couple of iterations to work out the kinks. The minute I saw it, the fact that you can have a long conversation with it and basically ask it anything, and it could somewhat abstract its knowledge and communicate and go back and forth with you, it's just a matter of time before that's really gonna take over. And it has trained on basically all of humanity's knowledge. So at some level, it has memorized all that. And that's not even adding like, RAG augmentation where you can seek databases and bring in search queries and, do all that. It was just, even in its most primitive form, it still had knowledge of basically everything. They actually haven't even dumbed it down for the copyright issues, but it has knowledge. The brain you're interacting with, it may not be as creative as you at some level, but it has the collective human knowledge, or it can have with just a couple more CPUs thrown at it. Think about that. So anyway, first law, is it gonna destroy us? Well, yeah, it's inherent gonna make us incredibly more efficient. The mistake people make is thinking that AGI needs to be some kind of human computer, like the perfect software developer or the perfect doctor to take over the world. No, the only thing it needs to do is make the existing doctors and software developers more efficient, because then you have one software developer doing the work of 5. And that in of itself, just think about it, is a massive improvement, just gargantuanly huge. Think of it before, like if you needed an app, you're gonna need 5 developers, and now you just need one guy, and he can maintain and create the app for you. That is your payroll cutting down to 1/5 and creating the same productivity. In capitalism, any edge is huge. So if you get 5% edge over the other automakers, if you can build the battery 7% more efficient, you're gonna take over the market, because largely everyone has the same constraints to work with, and everyone's just looking for their market edge. It's like trading. You need to have your edge. If you can get an alpha of 3% over the next guy, you win. Now AI comes along, and now you can get 200, 300, in some tasks, 10%, 10 times. And then sometimes it just totally eliminates the job entirely. There are jobs that no longer will exist. Translation no longer will exist because LLMs are so good at it. So it's not even now making the translator 2, 3, 5, 10 times more efficient. It's totally eliminating the transcriber completely, right? There's no more need for that job. Everything else is gonna go the same route. We're already having, doctors can now I saw a Nuance product, which is Microsoft, where the doctors can just have a conversation with the client, and there's a microphone there recording it all, and it's doing all the notes, and the doctor can just dictate out. Before, that was a clunky process, but now it's so beautiful, and the doctor just has to go, and he can see 5 patients instead of before he had to do 3 patients and then do the paperwork. Now he does 5 and just a very little paperwork. So that efficiency of like 20, 30%, massive if you're hiring 300 doctors people would, if a CEO can make a company 30% more efficient, that'd be massive. And now AI is coming and making people 50, 100% more efficient with pennies on the dollar. Because AI may sound expensive to pay it for your ChatGPT subscription, but realize that even if you paid a ChatGPT $1,000 a month, but you're paying the developer $200,000, that's like $20,000 a month. $1,000 is cheap to superhuman power him to be 2x or 3x or 4x. Same with customer service. So everything is about efficiency gains. And AI is a powerful efficiency multiplier. That's why there's actually merit to being fearful about it taking your jobs, because it's not going to totally make it so that you don't need doctors, you don't need software engineers. It's going to make the existing software engineers that much more powerful. And that's why you got to just get reduced headcount, because you no longer need it to deliver the same deliverables. If a website used to take 1,000 hours for a 3-man team, now it can take 1,000 hours for a 1-man team or 500 hours for a 1-man team. And now you don't need those other 2 people. So now you have excess capacity and you can just get rid of it and return that as profits. And that is the cruel reality of business. Business is looking for efficiencies rather than a whole new paradigm change. If I go into a company and I consult with them, I'm helping them. I'm not like creating a whole new business model for them, because if I could do that, I would just do it for myself. I would just gather the investors and make it, it'd be so easy. I go in there and I want to improve their efficiency. And AI is low-hanging fruit. You can go through all the business processes and start chipping away at the processes, removing parts and giving it to the LLM to handle, to draft the reports, to take the meeting notes, to keep the roadmap looking nice, to do the documentation, to do the artwork, to verify that something is, following proper procedures. Before you needed a human, and that person was expensive. Now it's just a script that runs on your server. So it's all about efficiency gains and how those efficiency gains translate into reduced headcount to create the same amount of work. In conclusion, I've kind of hammered the point that it's all about efficiency gains rather than expecting an AGI to come and just be able to totally 100% reproduce what a software developer does. Nobody's expecting that. And that's actually why it is so powerful. What you should do if you're in the software development business is you want to be the guy who's left over and is super powered. You want to be the guy who really knows the AI tools and is using them productively to expand his efficiency. That way, when you're compared against someone who doesn't have the same background or doesn't have the same skill set experience with the tool, you will have a competitive edge on them and you can bring a lot of value to these companies. Right now, there are companies that haven't made the shift over because it's still new. People are still like, really, in the tech world, we're all freaking out. But in the rest of the world, ChatGPT, they kind of heard a few grumblings, and some of them might use it a little bit for, cheating on homework or whatever. But nobody has actually seen the impact that it can happen when you start automating, entire business flows. And you can go into like the tax preparer or the drive-through at Wendy's and put a ChatGPT interface on it, and now you no longer need that person to be there answering phones. So there's a time right now that we can really get in there and be successful. And I would really challenge you to go after it, because beyond that, you're eating or gonna get eaten. So be the eater, get out there. The sky's not falling yet because, again, there's so much time to transform these old legacy businesses. There's a lot of work that has to be done there to integrate LLMs into their workflows and AI and all this stuff. So there could be a short-term boom, but when those efficiencies start coming in, it's going to really deplete the necessary need for software developers. So you have to find your edge to stay involved. And everything is really about working hard, getting out there, getting in front of people. It's not about being a jerk and trying to push people down, but it's just about what can you bring to maximize the value for the company. And companies that see people that bring value, they're going to want to hire those people. And other people that are just like, oh, I'm a software developer, no, I did a web app. That is not as convincing as, hey, I did a web app in 2 hours using this tool that I built that iterates and creates the project structure by itself. Then I'm like, well, that's really interesting. That's the future of software developing. That's the future of literally everything, is being able to automate. So anybody that can show that skill, I want that guy on my team. Till next time, peace out. Add and subscribe me, guys, because I'm a little bit different than the rest of us. I'm going to talk about tech from a technologist point of view because I've been following it. And I was an artificial intelligence voice systems for my whole career. So this is like the culmination of everything I've been waiting for. But my take on things is I really work with the emotional a part of the psyche and the people that are actually building software. Software is about people. It's about mindsets. It's about psychology. And if you have a shitty psychology, you're not going to be able to be a good team player. You're not going to be able to get a job. I've seen very smart people not be able to get top jobs, or not be able to stay in jobs, or not be able to really excel at jobs because they have all this trauma and they're acting out. So the mental part, mental health, is literally the most important thing. When everyone is smart, then the only difference is the people that are healthy in their heads. Those people get way further. So the psychology aspect and the AI aspect and the job aspect is what I bring together. So join me and see you soon.